Good morning, everybody. Had a little bit of a hard landing there because I realized the intro music was almost over and I was in the middle of the air. Well, we're heading right to the um, waste disposal area. I did a little bit of it this morning, got most of the pipe work done, so it's already pretty well in progress. Just need to grab our tractor parked over here. Glad to see there's still plenty of room up there. I think I'm going to end up probably needing 2 more ports up there to get it all where we need it to be. And then that should facilitate both the drones that we will need to run the supercomputer factory and also the drones for the nuclear power project. Should be 3 drone ports, 2 of them doing double duty and 1 of them doing triple duty. Should be enough. Because I'm going to have the same drone that handles the aluminum drop at the battery factory is also going to bring the aluminum here out at this project, and also to the main facility, or where the plutonium rods are going to be made, which I think we're probably going to finish building that today. It's not a huge project. Will require another particle accelerator. Man, those things use a lot of juice. That's got me a little scared. I mean, I think we'll be okay because between the 2 of them at max output, they're using about 1.5 gigawatts. But the rod project is already on. The cell project is not, but I saw that was only going to consume like 600. So that still leaves us like 2 gigawatts to the good when this project is on. So I mean, it's going to be tight. I think we're going to have under a gigawatt still open with everything running. But of course, once the nuke plants start burning those rods, all will be forgiven. But yeah, that's we're still not there yet. Boy, it's a long drive out here, ain't it? Whew. Maybe should have done this with a train. Oh man, did I forget to? I forgot to put it in the roster. God dang it. Let's see if I can. No, I don't want to record. Let's see, what do I need to build one? Truck stop. I could probably make 15 of those. I hope. I'd like to do the belt work while I'm over here, To do all that, you need to have the truck stops down. There we are. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can get it lined up with this one so we can make it look all nice and uniform. Probably can't tell, but I actually did expand this parking lot one more stage. Yeah, it looks lined up. So give it a bit more room in the back. That looks right. Let's take a look at this one and see how it looks in the back. Yeah, I just left just enough room for the conveyor ports and stuff. And it looks like, actually, I think, yep, back one. Yep, that looks about right then. Alright, we're going to paint this one green because it's getting the nasty stuff. Probably should change the sign too because nuclear waste is not going forward, it is going to the right. There we go. So now when you pull up, you'll see that. Sulfur depot and nuclear waste depot. Alright. And we want the kind of same thing over here. We're going to put this like about there, I guess. Yeah. So these actually, yeah, you'll be coming in on the right lane. So, yeah, actually, I think it needs to be like basically right here. Lined up with that because it looks a little weird, but it's because of the way the traffic comes in on this side. I think that'll do it though. Just like that. Yeah. So then both trucks will come down to the end here. Sulfur will turn to the left and loop back around. Nuclear waste will loop to the right and come back around. Then both of them will come back to the center and out into the right exit lane. Yep, that's how we want it. Let's see here. Was it just the one or did I do two? Yep, just one. Yep, just give them an idea where they need to pull up. Okay. Yellow. Alright, now that looks like a pretty well organized parking lot if I do say so myself. And as you can see, we got the project already in progress. Another mushroom. Yeah, so these two, I mean, the aluminum casing production that I have to do over here is very small. I mean, it's almost embarrassing that I have to deliver aluminum all the way down here just for this little thing, but yeah. Yeah, he's going to be able to process 150. We actually need him to process 120, so let's see what 90% does. Oh. Oh, shit. He only processed. Ooh. Yeah, when am I gonna have to overclock this bad boy? Oh no! Yeah, because I mean, they're gonna be processing. Let's see, that's 100 and yeah, they're 40. Yeah, 40, 40, and 40, right? So 40, 40, and 40 is 120. We need him to process 120 per minute, not 100, not 75, but 120. Well, we definitely gonna have to go back because that's gonna change. Gonna change, all the outputs. Well, not all the outputs, but how much aluminum he's gonna need and all that. Oof, man, that's really scaring me for power too. Yeah, I just put it down this morning, and I guess I just didn't check it that good. It'll be less than a 50% overclock though, because we just need him to consume 120 per minute, because that's how much is going to be coming in. I guess I could have gone ahead and hooked in the drone ports, but that's okay. I already got the spots put aside for it. Yeah, I mean, these guys, these big builders that build, like, you know, nuclear power plants that put off, 300,000 gigawatts, I just don't know how they can keep their sanity. I mean, this project is a very small nuclear power plant, all said and done, and look at all of this infrastructure it takes. It's like insane to me. There's also no power out there, but you know, I'll work on that at the same time that I'm running the conveyor out there. I've got a conveyor that's carrying coal, so that those two truck stops down there will have coal in them for fueling for the return trip. They actually don't seem like they need it, but the AI doesn't drive as good as you do. Oh man, auto drive in the middle of an acceleration into a turn. There's plastic. all the way in the other lane and 3-point turning in the middle of the road. I didn't do any of that when I recorded this path. So that's what I mean when I say that the AI is nowhere near as good a driver as you. It's all the way in the other lane. It's like doing a 3-point turn in the middle of the road. That's not what I recorded when I recorded this path. I'm looking forward to seeing how fast the vehicles are in 1.0. Apparently, some work has been done to that effect, so. He just passed. I mean, all that time wasted with him doing that 3-point turn for no reason. I didn't record that. The intersection hasn't changed either. There's no reason. Yeah. Yeah, he does it in the middle of the road, you know, like right over here. It's just a regular turn. It's not like it's anything special. Alright, well, we gotta go get some power shards to fix my bad math, because I ain't building another one of them suckers. I mean, I guess I could, but they're freaking huge. Oh, did that thing to me again. Yeah, I think I figured out what causes it. If the autosave happens while you're in the air and you're holding down a directional, it like loses track of the fact that you're pushing the direction. So then all of a sudden you're hitting, you know, W to change your direction, and it's not tracking that. That's why it gives the impression that you're just continually gaining speed, because, you know, you steering yourself to the platform is what is equalizing your momentum. So if it's not tracking that, then yeah, you're gaining speed because you're falling. You're just falling with style. Wow. I wonder when the changes to the space elevator will show up. I kind of think that when you first put it up, it's going to look very much like this. That some of those changes that they've showed in the 1.0 sneak peeks are probably not going to show up with when you first put it up. That I think that as you complete the different phases, there will be add-ons that eventually make it look like it did in the 1.0 sneak peek. Hi, autosave. I'm stuck trying to close a box. It's so annoying, man. Yeah, I guess I'll just take all 22 with me. I only need 200 in there. Compacted coal for some reason. Must have been working on something at some point. Probably when I was doing the research for turbo fuel. Yeah, I just thought of it, but instead of coming all the way back out here, I probably could have just looked around for a slug. I haven't really gone slug hunting in a while because I still have 200 power shards in there. Oh well. You forgive me, don't you? A little bit of bad planning. No, and this is the kind of project where you can't have bad planning. I mean, like, your planning has to be damn near perfect because once you start producing that nuclear waste, there ain't no going back. You can't, like, undo it. It's got to be processed. What? What's this cloud I'm going through? That's a weird cloud. There was a cloud up high, and then as I was landing, I passed through another cloud. That pillar of light there is where the iron deposit is that I'm going to use to make the, I think it's 12 iron plates that I need. It's like going to be such a stupid little project. And since it's so few of them, I'm just going to use a load balance to get exactly the 3 that it needs. I'll have 12 coming down there and then run it into a splitter and have 4 on each split. Each one will go into a different machine. Yeah, this is a long drive. I actually did that backwards, didn't I? I should practice that. Drop off the nuke waste. Get an autosave to help fuck up your recording. And turn this way. And then this way. And out you go. Alright, well, seems pretty straightforward. Hopefully I can do it that smoothly with a truck. But that's why I tried to leave as much room as I could here. Alright, back to the particle accelerator. Also have to figure out how to get that iron over here, but just a little at a time, a little at a time. is, oh no. So these guys are going to be making, yeah, I've got them making exactly the amount of nitric acid that I need them to make, and these guys are processing exactly the amount of nuclear waste that I make, right? So they're taking in, yeah, so I'm making 90, so they're each taking in 30. So 30, 30, and 30, and they're producing 40, 40, and 40 of the non-fissile. So that is going to be going in here. So it's got to be able to process 120. Wow. One is not enough. Oh my god, dude. Oh no! There it is. 160%. So then it needs 16 aluminum casings per minute. It'll put out 16 of these plutonium cells. And then when we get over to the other side to deal with the getting rid of those, we'll figure out how much it takes to process 16 of those per minute. Man. Yeah, I mean, apparently those the plutonium cells, they process uh, 10 minutes per cycle. So, I mean, in the full game mode where you can actually do something with the plutonium waste, all of this kind of stuff will be worth it. Like, it seems like it's not worth it right now because you're, uh, you're not doing anything with those plutonium rods. You know, you're going through all these processes so you can process the various parts of the nuclear waste just so you can put it in an awesome sink. Which seems ridiculous that it takes that much processing, which I've said before, but I just it bears repeating how ridiculous that is to me. But yeah. All right, so I think one more would have lined it up there, so that's already one back, so that's two back. Yep. All right, so that is the final destination of the processing of the nuclear waste in this biome. That's where it ends up in this drone pad, which will take it out to the desert for final processing. So let's call this one the plutonium encased cell pickup. All right, it's got a name. Ain't no changing it now. No, I mean, you know what I mean. All right, so let's see. So this one over here, this is going to be another drone port. This is the one that's going to be bringing in the aluminum for the processing. Right, that's probably lined up. Yep, that's good. Autosave. So yeah, first let's, before we build the aluminum part, I'll go ahead and name it so I don't forget what I'm doing here. Yeah, because over here, I've got to get 'Cause it's got this one has no liquids coming in for this. It's just going to be the non-fissile uranium and the aluminum casing. So we're going to leave this one open because that's what I'm going to do, like a little small project there for processing aluminum, and then turning it into the casings it needs, which are only 16 per minute, you know, so not really a whole lot. Especially since I figured out that it makes 60 a minute. So, I mean, it's going to be way underclocked. But not that the power savings I'm going to get on the constructor it come anywhere close to what I'm losing by overclocking this monstrosity. Oh, God. It's making my stomach turn just thinking about it. Alright, so we'll give him a nice berth of space here. So we're going to go with, yep, that one. And then we'll put one of these down, and then we're going to change to the material that I prefer for this kind of work. Alright. There we go. Alright, so that should handle that. Oh, not quite. Needs one more. So in that case, we'll go ahead and pull it back. Yeah, that was just for spacing. Okay. It was 40, right? Yep. And this one's going to be a Mark II. Okay, so we're going to do, yeah, so over here we'll do a merger, right? Bare merger, and then auto save again, getting in the way of doing belt work. We want it to go that way. Yes, okay. So then this one is going to be a Mark I coming up. No. Again. This one's going to be a Mark I coming up. Well, that's fine. Still a straight belt, even if it is not lined up the way it looked in my head. So yeah, Mark 1. Now going to be carrying 80, so it must be Mark 2. Okay, Mark 2 belt. Mark 2 conveyor. Mark 2 belt. Alright. That is all of the non-fissile uranium fed into this monstrosity. So now we can go over here. This one's going to be dropping aluminum. Okay, first we'll start with the constructor, which I guess we will fit. I think that would probably line up. Yep, I think it will. Aluminum casing. He needs to make 16, which means he's gonna need 24. So yeah, that's 48. I think this one is going to be one of these little fellers right here. He's going to put his butt right in this thing's mouth. Beep. He's going to get him a Mark 1 belt coming right there. He's going to process him some aluminum ingots, 30 per minute. $24. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright, so then him, we'll feed him right like that. Actually, no, almost, not quite. 1, 2. Okay. Your little Mark 1 belt coming along here. Oh wow. Not bad for doing it with my eyeball. Alright. That feeds this monster. Okay, so then before we go on, we're going to do the other material input that this needs, which is the nitrogen gas. Which is right here. That's the whole reason we put the project down here, is that this is where the dang... Let's see. It'll fit on top of a foundation like all of the extractors and stuff do. Guess we're about to find out. As soon as autosave decides to give me control again. Okay, let's see if that'll fit. It does. How nice is that? Look over this nope, ain't hanging off or nothing. Ah, I love that. Yeah. It's all in there. Alright. Nope. Well, that's okay. It ain't here to look pretty, it's just here to give me a nice straight foundation to work with. See if that works. I've never attached nodes to a foundation before, so we're going to find out if this is worthwhile to do or not. Alright, so first one up, I need 3 of these suckers. Yeah. It's trying to snap to it, but it won't because it's, yeah. Alright, that's, I kind of suspected that. Let's see if the others will snap. Yeah. It's trying. But yeah, it doesn't like the foundations in the way. That's okay though. We can leave most of them probably. So that you have places for the pipes to guide once you're... See if it'll pop in there now. Is it because it's not activated? Yeah. Yeah. So they might actually snap to those. They just don't want to go to it because it's not power. Isn't that strange? How much power does it require? 150 megawatts. Oh, be still my heart. Yeah, I mean the aluminum consumption down here is going to be so small. It's like such a small amount, man. Alright. I hate changing the order that I wanted to do this in, but I guess we've got to start bringing the power down here. So we've got to power that thing up, or else it won't let me attach the nodes. Stupid as that. We can cut power to it immediately after that, which is why it's kind of dumb that they're making me do it this way, but whatever. No, I'm trying to... Yeah, you are one picky bitch. Yeah, we probably only need to build like 4 of them tops, I would imagine, so... Yeah, those things have a pretty long reach. And the road has power, it's just you know, I haven't run any wires on this section yet. I guess I should go ahead and start bringing the coal over here too. If they're going to make me bring power over there to turn that on, I may as well go ahead and set up that. That'll save me having to constantly drive all the way over there to the sulfur pickup to fuel up. I can just have my tractor fuel up at one of those. How much? I might have to go back and get some encased beams. Let me look at my inventory while I'm driving. Yeah, definitely. I only got 87. This thing's coming like a thousand meters or something. I mean, this is a project here, man, for sure, for sure. This might be a good place to have it. Oh my goodness. Maybe not. Let's see how far I can bring that. Yeah. Won't quite make it. It will. Yeah, it will make it out there. Alright, yeah, go ahead and put that sucker up. Oh man, let's see if I can get that. Yeah, it'll let me do it that way. That's good. Okay, so then let's see how far this one can go. It looks pretty damn far. Far too long. Alright, so it looks like probably right about there. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, that was a nasty spill there, man. Ouch. Come on, man. Let me do the slide jump. Yeah. This is a high pillar here, man. Ow. That really stung. Okay. I thought for sure I could get up on top of that platform from down there. A survey says no. No, you can't. Is it gonna? Nope. Looks like that. Oh man. I'm gonna build a few more of these, I guess. For some reason, I thought for sure it would make it all the way down there. I guess you forget just how far you really went, you know. Alright, I'm gonna put it on this side here. Ain't nobody gonna mess with me, I hope. Yeah. Closest enemy is a hatcher, and I'm not close enough to aggro him, so I think I'm alright. Alright, let's get up here. And then I'll see if I can fly up there. Concrete. I'm running low. Actually, I don't think I need to go back to that. I can just build it here. I believe that's connected. I believe it is, like, getting power and stuff. Yeah, sure is. Man. God, you see what I mean? Like, I've got, like, quite a bit of it turned on. I know that the part that makes the uranium cells, that one is around 600, because every machine in there is triple overclocked, you know. So that's around 600, so that's going to put us up at 11,600. getting tight, getting tight. And then that one there, it's probably going to be close to 2 gigawatts. So that will only leave me very, very little on the grid. I think that when all this is up and running, it's going to be running on the battery until those freaking nuke plants start to get their nuclear rods. So we're going to be testing how effective my battery backups have been, because I mean we have quite a bit on there, you know, because I think I'm pretty much going to hit the number, right? And there's 3.2 gigawatts on the battery grid. So I'm thinking it will probably give me about a half hour, and I don't think it'll take that long for the first rods to start showing up over there. So even if the power is sputtering a little until things regulate a bit, it should be okay. But man, I mean, we are really pushing the wire here. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. I must have downloaded something on my phone that added some kind of ad thing. It's got a notification from something called Crime Zone. God. Okay. So let us go again. Let's see how far this one will go. Yeah, we're running low on concrete. We're running low on all the materials. So please make it to the intersection. Nope, it will not. It'll make it about there. Okay. Nope. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Uh-huh. This is getting to be a little bit more dangerous to jump off this thing to put it down the wiring. Imagine how fun it's going to be when I'm putting the conveyor belt under the road. I'll bring plenty of rods and plates so I can build scaffolding as I go, so I can stand under the road while I'm doing it. Oh man. Well, that's why I wanted to do this power at the same time, but you know, oh man, this is scary. There's gonna be like 5 hatchers on there once the popping catches up. Alright. I believe I might be too. I mean, my health hasn't even recovered from the last time I was wrong about the distance, so let's see how wrong about the distance I am this time. It looks like I got it this time. Okay. Yeah, you know, if you're just thrusting upward, it is much harder than if you're like strafing and slowly gaining altitude as you do. Man, I mean, this is a crazy project, man. But I think at this point we have power about halfway there. I'm going to come back with more materials because we're going to start bringing the conveyor belt down there too. I mean, we may as well. It looks like looks like it's going to need it. So I'm going to go ahead and stick some rods and plates in the trunk of this tractor, so that I have a few extra with me, and I'll pick up some more when I go back to get concrete, all the encased industrial beams I need and all that stuff. Because I mean, this is a huge project. This is yeah. I mean, I had to do it eventually, so I guess it's not really a setback as such. Because I mean, power had to go out there. You have to get power out there. Nothing's gonna run without it. But yeah, I just didn't expect that I have to do it right now. I gotta watch my phone for texts because I'm trying to set some appointments for tomorrow. Haven't heard back from anybody, but Labor Day though, they could all be drunk and out partying. Hey, ain't that what people with lives do? I don't even know. I ain't had one so long. Now don't forget to drop off your plates and rods in this thing's trunk. Yeah, I'll put 2 of those. Boy, if we only had one thing on those anyway. Well, ain't that nice? Okay. Well, look at that. I had a 3 power slug. Yeah, you see how quickly the momentum changed. That's why I think I figured out what's causing that wide swing like that. I'll just have to remember that with if the autosave hits you before you've really fully employed the momentum adjustment in your direction. See, like that? Yeah, did it right there. And I think it's because, in the game physics, when you're using those hypertube cannons, essentially, you're using the momentum of falling to propel yourself. So that's why, like, in the autosave, all of a sudden it loses track of your directionals because you're in the falling animation, so you know. Yeah, I mean, you can use a parachute with the um, hypertube cannons as well. It's just you don't get as far or as fast because as soon as you pop the chute, you lose all forward momentum. Alright, gotta make sure to get rods and rods and plates. At least 2 of these and probably 3 of the rods. Okay, we'll get, I don't know, 4 bags of concrete, and then we'll try to do the rest as things here. Because that's the belt that I'm using to get out there. Okay, that's all I can carry, so I don't think that's going to be enough, but we're going to give it a shot. And if I got to come back for more, I will, you know. Somebody reacted to a post I sent them on Telegram. Isn't that annoying? Like, every time anybody does anything, you kind of get a notification of it. And it's like, yeah, you have the option to turn off notifications, but, you know, I don't want to miss all the notifications, but it just seems like, God, man, my phone's constantly bling, 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 and most of it is just bullshit. It's just garbage you don't even care about. Now, that seemed a little bit much. Now, around here is where the conveyor belt is. I'm not exactly sure where, but I built. Yep, there it is. I brought it to the edge of the road before I continued building the road. So, all right. This is as good a place as any to start building the. hopefully, hopefully we got enough of this material to keep us going. It will be kind of weird that I'm on kind of a floating, floating catwalk, but we're gonna do. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, start moving the tractor too. What is that, Mike? Hold on a second. Be right back, folks. I think I hear my car alarm going off. Crisis averted. It was not my car alarm. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, it's moving a little further down because catch up in no time from here. So I'm going to put him like, I don't know, maybe. Put him like, where the first power line on the road is. Boy, he hit the brakes hard once I jumped off of him. Yeah, you know, I was saying that I'm adding like 3 more trucks out here on the road network, but it just occurred to me that 2 of them are going to mainly be on this one, which is empty now. So I don't know how crowded it's really going to get. Autosave here to make your life better. Get rid of this one from back here. Oh no. That's all I need is another nasty spill. Ooh, man, what a long process this is. Oh, no. Yeah. So we're getting pretty close to the turn there. I mean, not that that really signifies much, because we still got a long way to go. Yeah, I can tell it ain't perfectly straight, but yeah, right here. Get a little light down here. Okay, let's put one of them thing deals over here. Right about there. Yeah, I can tell it's like that last one was not exactly straight, but that's all right. Oh, there it is. 1, 2. All right. We have achieved a turn. Doo-doo! Sound the air horns. Get one more out. Yep. All right. Now we're gonna put a turn in it. Autosave. I missed you, autosave. Alright, now we'll just clear off all this. Yeah, see, I'm going all kinds of like a drunk spider making a spider web. I think that spider was actually supposed to be on LSD if I remember correctly. I don't know if you guys had that in school, but when I was in school, you know, the DARE program was real big. They were trying to make sure all the kids stayed off drugs, right? That was a big thing. And one of the diagrams they would show is this diagram of a spider all hooked up on drugs, and the difference between the web they would make while they were not stoned and when they were. And if I remember correctly, it was LSD was the drug they were using to make the spider all Man, that's a lot of scaffolding. Of course, it don't look like much because I'm tearing it down as I go, but ooh, yeah. The very thing we were trying to avoid doing. That's all right. Didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt me. Not like before where I fell and almost died. Yeah. I mean, realistically, you're barely even going to notice this thing because there's not really a lot of stuff attached to this road except for power lines. So, I mean, this whole thing is really just so that I can make sure all of the trucks that are delivering down there, way over there, have enough fuel to make it back. That it don't become a one-way trip because they run out of fuel. Imagine that if you could like automate trucks. You know, you just have this machine automating the truck, and it would like fall out, get fueled up, get get the materials it's supposed to carry, and then drive over there, and then you'd go over there, and none of them were getting enough fuel to come back, so it was just like a parking lot full of trucks, just like parked and all out of fuel. Yeah, I doubt they'll ever automate trucks because I mean, really, what would be the point? They can't be stored, so I don't know that it would. It seems like that's too close, but yeah, that's what the yeah it is, but whatever. Still made the turn, damn it. Yeah. See, I mean, there ain't even enough room for your head to get above this. Like, you couldn't even ride this one anyway. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I think I should probably go up some more. Like maybe 3 more. Yeah, maybe 6 more. Yeah. Then we can do our turn. And we go clean this one up. Before we do that, let's hop up here for a sec and see where we are. Yeah, we haven't even made it to where I parked the tractor, man. Oh God, what have I done? Oh well. And you know, no matter how careful I am with this, you know at some point I'll be out here doing some other work on a future project, and we'll find a piece of scaffolding just floating in the air. Nope, wrong thing. Trying to get you to get the belt. Yeah, there you go. Alrighty. Grab that belt and feed it on and on and on and on and on and on. Well, we're almost getting to where I parked the tractor. I guess that's some kind of landmark. And once we get to where the last power line is, then I have to be hopping up there to move the power and come back under and move the belt. So it's about to turn into double duty here. I just left this so undone. I should have been working on this on Saturday. I was just so wiped out after work. Well, anybody watching, throw me a follow, because I would much rather do this than my day job. Let me tell you, I may not be the best Satisfactory builder, but if you guys made this a viable source of income for me, I promise I'll get better. Boy, that's all I would do. I love video games. Of course, we'll probably play Satisfactory for, a year or so, maybe. If it keeps growing, if my channel grows. I mean, right now, it's been pretty pathetic. I'm really not getting many people interested. That's kind of sad. Man, this belt going a long way. Did I really go that long without without going back? And yeah, that's crazy. I thought I'd be diligent on that. there's 3 of them. Wow, man. Wow, this is... I know I keep saying it, but this is such a long distance, man. Oh my god. Also, not the longest road I ever built. I really had a problem getting trains to work in my last playthrough. That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to build at least one rail this time, because I've never really had a successful rail before, and we've got one. And honestly, I probably should have used a rail for this. It would have made a lot more sense than having this thing go this far out. Because, I mean, look at this. I'm having to fuel at both ends. There's all this extra infrastructure I have to build just to make sure that the trucks are able to drive back again after they drop off the sulfur and the nuclear waste over there. So yeah, I probably should have just done this as a rail. Just had a rail car go out there and drop the nuclear waste, and they could have just done it in one run. You have one vehicle with 2 cars on it. I mean, it wouldn't even have been a very complicated train. But I don't know. I guess in my head, I think, I mean, a train car with 10 objects in it, that seems like such a waste. But, well, I mean, a waste in what? A waste in power? No, not really. Is it a waste in materials? Well, I mean, materials are pretty much infinite in in Satisfactory, the nodes don't run dry, and you don't really have those kinds of concerns, because the only thing is how quickly you can get resources out of the ground. Excuse me. There's a couple of other creators that I was watching the weekend from bed while I was half in and half out napping, and there's this one guy called Dakoba, and he does a lot of these really great time lapse videos where he shows how he builds all these different factories. But most of his factories are just platform factories. He just builds it up high and uses the conveyors and pumps and whatever he needs to get the fluids and everything up there, and just builds like that. And I don't know, I might experiment with something like that for 1.0. I had an idea for something similar to that in my last playthrough. I ended up scrapping it because my idea was a lot more complicated and stupid. Stupid, if you really want to know the truth. Because I instead of just doing a platform, I wanted to do this huge, almost a spaceship looking thing, and just have it cover 2 whole biomes, and then just have conveyor systems on the ground feeding it up into this huge thing. And then it went over like a Led Zeppelin. I mean, I couldn't get it to. Obviously, that's just way too much material. But just platforms, I mean, why not? And you could still use trains and stuff. It's just that they would be right off the platform instead of, dealing with all that other stuff. So it would be a lot more power consumption up front, but, I mean, the logistics you would save yourself because of lack of terrain issues, it would just be astounding. I mean, because you could literally build anywhere if you were just building a platform that was 150 meters up. It doesn't, you don't need to go 300 meters up or anything. But yeah, 150 meters up. If you got Mark 1 pumps, that's like 6 pumps, which is a lot of power. I mean, don't get me wrong, but you'd have a lot more power. You'd have a lot more power because you'd have, all these different ways of exploiting the resources and what have you. Also, it seems like they're adding a bunch of new coal nodes in 1.0 release, so I suspect that is going to translate to some real sprawling early game coal power plants. Because, yeah, why not? You'll probably build like a smallish one to get you some power going, and then like 6 to 8 um, coal plants. But then after you have that, and you can automate like lots of rotors and everything you need to build more, then you'll build a really giant one and probably delete that one. And yeah, I think that, I don't know, I'm considering that. It kind of depends on what kind of objects they added in the game. Like one thing that we haven't seen that I would like to see is an elevator. A way of getting around your factories. Because if you could build like an elevator down to the ground and not have to climb a freaking ladder up 150 meters, that would be pretty cool. That's a fairly low-tech way of getting up and down large structures, I mean, they give you the hyper tube, but there's never an elevator. I mean, yeah, we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically 700 more. I think I came down with like 14. So we've used about half of what we had, but yeah, we're getting there. It's about time to move the tractor up. Boy, I can't believe how long this is taking. Well, I really should have put more time aside this weekend. I mean, I dropped the ball, and I'm gonna pay for it in just not being able to complete this playthrough in the pregame. I mean, I'll get the nuclear power up and stuff. I mean, I still got a week, but I was really hoping to get deep into that the elevator parts. You know, I had suspected for a while that I wasn't going to get all the way through it because I decided to take on this project. You know, I could have skipped over nuclear power again, but the most important part of this playthrough for me was wanting to do things that I haven't done in other playthroughs. I was trying to build up my building skills, you know, so that's why I tried some new designs in some of the buildings I put down, and you know, finally build a supercomputer factory. I hadn't done that before. I've drawn out plans for them a number of times, and you know, usually by then you're already getting to the point where look, we're at the last stage of the phase, and there ain't nothing that comes next. I've done it before. There's nothing there, and you know, so you just kind of reach a point in the game where you're like, well, I've already got everything now. You know, I mean, we've got all the recipes and all that, so maybe it's time to just call it quits. But now there's going to be an ending to the game, so you know, in a lot of ways, this was in preparation for 1.0. It wasn't really just about me wanting to play Satisfactory. I mean, that was part of it for sure. And you know, with the announcement that 1.0 was coming out, a lot of the bigger creators had announced they were taking breaks and stuff. And you know, I was really starting to jones for content. I wanted to see someone play Satisfactory, and so you know, I decided to do it myself. And I was hoping that I would run into more people that had similar feelings, that just wanted to, you know, maybe watch somebody that is not as big as some of the bigger content creators also learning as they go. But I don't know. I'm just not getting much luck in that department. Yeah, that one's crooked as hell, but you know, like I said, it doesn't matter as much because it's not like, I mean, once we're out over the ocean, I'm never getting back under this road. Oh, I hope not. I hope I don't ever have to get back under here. Oh man. You know, you can see how it's like swerving back and forth as it goes. Now, and the thing is, like, coming up with this idea to bring this conveyor belt all the way down there, that was almost a last minute decision. It was just because I started thinking about like what would happen if, you know, the truck that's bringing the nuclear fuel doesn't have enough coal to go round trip, you know, and it really made me reconsider using coal. Like I was like, well, I know that there's a fracking site right above the site that I want to build the nuclear power plants. So I could just build a crude oil processing center right above it, make lots and lots of packaged fuel, and distribute that for the trucks. But I was like, yeah, but that's a whole other project. I mean, of course, dealing with fuel is so much easier than dealing with nuclear power. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, but you're already waist deep in this, man. I mean, you really want to take on another project right now? Let's see if I can get it to turn on its own. Yeah, that worked pretty good. Okay, we go out a little more. Put a turn on there. And then out as far as the eye can see. Yeah, man. Look at that. We still got that whole length to do. Alright, and so now that we are going to be working on the power lines too, I'm going to have to allow these scaffoldings to get a little bit longer, because I also need to get under here to build the foundations for the power lines. So I do not think that is gonna fly away. Yep, there's that. Okay. Alright, yep, let's go ahead and put the next power line down. We're over here now. Oh, we have not built enough scaffolding. Alright, let's build the scaffolding first. I'll just put this thing down here so I know where the marker is for it. Like right here. Oh shit, it's way over there. I need to go ahead and move the tractor too. There we go. A little bit further. Right about there. We are slowly but surely bringing coal and power down to the beach. Yeah, well, you see that. You can see the sign down there just barely. So that's where the parking lot is. So that's basically where we've got to get with this. Oh man, I was thirsty. All right. Yep. It looks like we're getting pretty close to the end of this stream. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to power through as much of this as I can, and then it'll just have to go a little over. We can't stop working on the conveyor belt either, you know, and it's gotta bring that coal, baby. These things go so far. Wire too long, wire too long. God. You're trying to like move by just clicks and then autosave happens. Alright, it's there for now. There it is, all the way over there. It's probably time to clean up the back of it too. Alright, so that was 39 of them I took down just now. I still ain't even a scratch. We're gonna have to keep doing it for a bit because I really don't want to run out of rods and plates while I'm doing this. Oh, I'm still standing on that. Alright, that's probably enough for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and extend this. Jeez, man, we're barely even making any distance. Still not there. Nuclear power is going to break my brain. Alright, we're almost there. Ooh, 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 ooh. I think when I exploited this deposit before, I had a drone bring a bunch of aluminum, empty aluminum casings there. Not the casings, the fluid containers. And they would drop it in one drone port, and then it would just package up all the nitrogen gas into containers and load it into another drone port, and it would just like transfer over, grab up all the the fulls and take them in. And I didn't even bother with an infrastructure to bring back more empties. It was just those empties would just be put right in the sink as soon as as soon as they were emptied, and make all new containers each time, just to save myself the headache of doing this. Of course, again, if I had, just done a train, I wouldn't even be dealing with this. I just didn't even want to deal with it because I thought, for some reason, I thought a train would be more difficult. There's no way. No way. Train would have been much easier than this. But I gotta admit, I do love trucks in this game, even with all the stupid AI shit that we do. Where's the? There it is. Okay, we're under it now. Where's it at? Yeah, I wonder if I can get one on it without having to stand on the scaffolding. If I can just get one. Alright, there you go. Oof. Well, we are now at the area where the iron will be processed, so that is something. Get a couple more lengths of belt done. Alright, I guess this is probably a good place to end this part of the stream. I did not have any idea how much I was taking on with this. I hope I can still get the nuclear power plant on today, because I gotta work tomorrow, and I want plenty of time to run around with my head on fire screaming and trying to figure out what to do with all the backup of nuclear waste that I'm putting myself into here. Kibitz put out a video. I'm Kibitz, he calls himself. Yeah, that's right. The name of his channel is I'm Kibitz. He did this video where, I guess in preparation for 1.0, just kind of like what everybody else is doing, right? And he decided that, he explained that when he set up his nuclear power originally, to see if everything worked, he ran Caterium through the system instead of uranium, just to make sure that the uranium was would move through the system correctly, and everything would be uh, fine. So after he ran it through a couple of times, he took the Caterium out, ran it into an awesome sink, and got rid of it, purged it from the system, or so he thought. So then he starts, his big project, which was building all of the elevator parts over in the Dune Desert. Which is, his video was kind of an inspiration for why I was going to also build the elevator parts out there. It's so flat, it's one of the few places you can actually build a really huge sprawling factory and not have to do an elevated platform, because it is so flat out there. Um, so while he was working on that, he started noticing these power fluctuations and stuff, and he couldn't figure out what was going on. So then, he was just happily working away. Well, he ended up noticing at some point, he went down there and realized that Caterium had somehow slipped back into the system, probably in a drone's inventory or something, just some little thing he didn't catch, and it was stopping up some of the blenders that were making the encased uranium cells that he was relying on for power, but only like a third of them. So he was still getting 2/3 of the power. So it wasn't complete meltdown. It was not a huge issue. He just had to go in there and you know take it out and deal with the backup of waste that he presented himself with. Um, but so that gave him an idea on like basically how to test his emergency protocols to see if he had really built this system that was not necessarily impervious, but had a significant backup strategy on how to deal with something like that happening again, where he ended up with his reactors shutting down and power going out. So he allowed it to completely shitstorm. Like all of his reactors were down. He I think he flooded Caterium into the system to create that same problem, and then allowed it to like burn through all of his backup batteries and everything, just to see if he would be able to get the thing up and running again, and going. And I was actually amazed that he was able to get the whole thing back up to full capacity in 4 hours. His fail safes were good enough for him to get in there and do it. He even had a backup system set up for processing that would run on like a tenth of the power that his main system did, so that he could get some of the reactors up and running and some of the waste processed, and then he just set up a bunch of overflows to deal with the rest until he could get the full system back on. And yeah, I mean, he did it. His trains were all crashing and shit, and he didn't know why. I think my theory is that once the power started going out, the the trains will still run even with no power, but all of the little signals and stuff that you put down, they're not they're not working if they're not getting power. So the trains weren't obeying the the signs and stuff to create the blocks and stuff. So they were just like slamming into each other and derailing, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, he'll never see this video, but well, one of the things that he couldn't figure out what was going on, and I kept shouting at the screen, "It's this, man! It's this!" It As he was trying to turn things on, he noticed that he was trying to turn off some of the power to his periphery factories to reduce the load that was necessary to get his plants back on, and he would go in and go, well, this switch is still on. Why why is it off? Oh my God, is this the real number of what the requirements are? And the thing is, like, if you shut off a switch before you lose power, it doesn't trip the breaker. So then when you turn the switch back on, power goes on. If you have enough power, everything turns on. But if you allow it to be exposed to a fuse blown, then you have to you hit the switch, and then you have to go to the power pole and flip the switch there. You know how it makes a switch there when the fuse is blown, and you have to turn it on like that. So this basically your switch has no effect. You know, turning it on and off doesn't restore power until you go in and reset that fuse. And that's the one thing that he didn't seem to catch as he was going through there. But those of us that have experienced lots of power outages know that. Obviously, you know, that noob hasn't had enough enough power outages to know what happens. Oh yeah, he's just a much better builder, so he doesn't run into power outages enough to know how that happens with the fuse. But yeah, it was a great video though. He really breaks it down. I mean, he has like fail safes beyond fail safes. I mean, that guy is in my opinion, he's one of the best builders. Like Total Eclipse, probably one of the aesthetically best builders. But he I don't know. Sometimes, well, him and like what Darren plays and those guys, they're all really good builders. I mean, far better builder than me. But uh, I don't think that they're always using the best recipes. Like they all use that same recipe for the Caterium, where they use a refinery to get their Caterium ingots. It is not. It's not faster. Um, what do you call it? The regular one for the smelter, it actually produces more per minute, uses more ore, but not much more. You know, so you're actually, you know, you're getting a better exchange rate between ore and ingots with the refinery, but you're actually getting less per minute. I mean, like the smelter produces 15 per minute, and the refinery only produces 12 at a cost of 26 additional power. You know, that's not enough. That's not much by itself, but you know, if you're talking like 100 units, I mean, 100 units of smelters, that's, you know, 400 megawatts. That's 100 units of refineries. I mean, that's 3 gigawatts, and that doesn't even include uh, the water infrastructure you have to put in place, because you know the thing about the smelters, you just plug them in and they do their thing. With the refineries, you got to have an entire logistics for fluids. So yeah, I assume that recipe is one of the ones that we'll probably see an update in 1.0, because I personally think it's one of the worst recipes in the game. It gives you less output than the vanilla recipe. That's yeah, but you know, that's just my opinion. And also, of course, you know that my favorite uh, um, copper recipe is the one that uses the foundry, and they all use the one that does the refinery on that too. And you know, I mean, it just does not produce anywhere near as much as the one that the foundry does, and the foundry uses less power at a sacrifice of a very small amount of iron. You just end up with, you know, hundreds and hundreds of copper ingots. It's by far the superior recipe. But I mean, their builds are amazing. It's just I have some disagreements about which recipe I think would be most efficient in their builds. But they're far better at making these huge builds with just enormous outputs. You know, I mean, I'm going to try to be a bigger builder in 1.0, because I know that like early game, like where I am now, I think the size that I build is probably good enough. But you know, they've all been just like, I guess because it drives eyeballs for the most part. That's why they want to be these like enormous builders. That's why they want these factories with like, you know, 40K output and stuff. But um, it's going to serve them well now because now we know that the end game building big is not, it's not just for funsies. It becomes a necessity. I mean, you know, some of these like the quantum encoders and all of that, those things are uh, very resource intensive as well as power intensive. And but I think that power is probably going to be less of a problem in 1.0 because like my little nuke plant, um, I think is probably not sufficient. I probably would need one about twice that size. But I think that one that was twice that size, it would then produce like 40 gigawatts, 44 gigawatts, and then it would produce enough plutonium out of that because I think we figured out that this setup is going to end up producing like uh, four plutonium uh, rods per minute, fuel rods per minute, or three per minute or something. So if I doubled it, it would be like six, and then that would be enough to run a whole other nuclear power plant. And now that the um, now that you can actually do something with the plutonium waste. In fact, not only can you do something, it becomes a necessary byproduct in the phase 5 of the game. So um, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing that and playing around with the antimatter and the quantum crystals and all that stuff. It all looks very exciting. And then knowing that not only is there a closed circuit for waste, because like the last product has been confirmed, the last thing that you can make in terms of fuel is made out of this material called fixonium or fixite or something like that, and it creates a fuel rod that does not create waste. It is apparently the worst, meaning it has the shortest burn time. That was confirmed, but it you would just put it in a whole other nuclear facility. So then you'd have a third nuclear facility out there that was the actual end point of processing the nuclear material. So you got one that's running on uranium, one that's running on plutonium, and then one that's running on this fixite material. And in the end, there's no waste. So when it finally makes it into the final power plant, it doesn't produce any radioactive waste. So that will probably be how your entire world facilitates itself. You know, in that power stage of the game, you're just you're making the uranium fuel rods, and then processing that waste to make the plutonium fuel rods, and then processing that waste to make the fixite fuel rods, and then there's no byproduct from that. So that seems like that's probably going to be the facilitator, the way that the game rounds out in terms of how your power production goes down. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be an interesting project. That's part of the reason why I was saying earlier that I'm thinking about going as a platform, a flat platform builder in this playthrough. Once 1.0 comes out, we'll see how that goes. I might get bored with it and start building buildings and stuff, but or I might just make buildings, you know, on the platforms. You know, it'll be like a city in the sky. Who knows? Who knows what I'll do? But that's my just my little thoughts on where we're heading in both this playthrough and in Satisfactory as a whole. Um, anyway, thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I am gonna do another stream this afternoon, probably around 3 o'clock, maybe 4, and I am going to try once again to do a late night stream, and hopefully I'll pick up a follower or two. Um, Looking forward to it. All right, guys, have a good one. See you later, alligator.